Hello, everyone. Richard Jung with Block.One. How's everybody this week? Like four parties every day until I think it goes until Saturday, I think. So we have a half an hour. Let's just push the panel discussions. Do we have, okay, so we have a slide up. AOAM ASTC. Does that anybody know what stand for? Abbreviations of AOAM ASTC? Okay, thought so. All opinions are mine and subject to change in the panel, okay? Thomas Cox here. Sounds familiar? No? Okay. Just an official announcement, okay, from Block.One. EOS VC, any inquiry or any questions or any support you need for VC, email VC@Block.One and EOS developer support. You'll get any request, any technical questions, send it over to developers@Block.One, okay? And we have a request for Sydney Hackathon. We're looking for a mentor, someone who's familiar with the EOS coding, C languages. The hotels and flights are all covered, okay? So please apply to EOSHackathon.io mentors. I think the Australian Sydney in August, first week of August, and the London hackathon will be in October, right? First week of October, I think. So please pay attention to this mentor program, and we'll be happy to have you at the mentor, okay? So we expect EOS to gain an early lead in becoming the default platform for enterprise use cases. Given that it's a general purpose platform that offers maximum flexibility to developers, we expect it to fuel additional use case and to inspire entirely new business models. Before panel discussions, I checked over all dapp rank statistics, which was measured by DAU, daily active users, and MAU, monthly active users, unique source addresses and transactions to dapp contracts, transaction volume, and was not able to find a successful, usable dapp with actual traffic. I think this is majorly due to scalability issues, and market is fragmented as there's no clear market leader yet. Among all DPoS controversies, per slides, all three of Dan's projects are the most used blockchains in the world. Well, give us a round of applause. We're getting there with community help, such as yourself today here. And it is challenging, I understand. This is a very difficult task. Nobody tried in the past before. We make it together, and we'll get there some point of time. And my sincere appreciations to the community. We have witnessed different key products and companies erupt when PC, internet, mobile era changes and the portal era, such as Yahoo and MSN, the search era, Huffington Post, now blockchains era to come. What will be the killer dapp? I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows, I think, at this point. But underlying principle to become killer dapp is very clear. Token and user benefits. Reduction in cost of brokerages and middlemen where user and token holders gets the benefit as possible, and less to those middlemen and brokerages. Need to avoid throwing tokens into things that don't need tokens, or they're making things decentralized that don't benefit from decentralization. Killer app relates to consumer taste, simple and clear value proposition, and regulatory environment, national IT and device infrastructures, right address market size, reliable and friendly access to customers with less channel dependence. Local market characteristics and contents demand investment from venture capital, flexibility from venture capital. And sometimes be the fast follower rather than speculating on a new opportunity. Today, we'd like to discuss the spectrum of fundamental business characteristics that dapp can consider when defining own unique business model and what likely be the killer dapp in the future. These slides were created by some of the community last week in time, and it talks about the segmentations of each dapp, distributed exchange made of smart contract, peer-to-peer marketplace, distributed digital real estate, art market, reward loyalty programs. Mainnet launches in June, so we're still 62% still developing. And we have number of different type of dapps. And noticeably, the China, North America is one of the big EOS dapp countries. I think the Korea is falling somewhere, etc. market. And EOS dapp cycle, 41%. We're in the process of developing the dapp here. Okay, so EOS dapp type, it's pretty colorful pictures. It's well balanced. The right-hand side is an average industry dapp type. That's not EOS dapp type. That's general dapp type statistic available on the web pages. EOS dapp type, there's like particularly 3%. The interesting thing is 1 or 2 is financial banking related major development is coming from banking and finance, but the EOS dapp type is just a 3% at this point. Interesting to see that. So now back to panel discussions. Now I have about 5 common questions, which was given to you guys earlier, and we'll start introductions from the EOSYS. Okay, Orchid first. Okay, so
yes.
Introduce yourself and. What's your business line? Okay.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Orchid Kim from EOSYS, which is the block producer standby one for now from Korea. And we've been working very hard and we've been contributing to the ecosystem since the beginning. So in terms of dapp, we're building several dapp projects. For example, first one, Nova Wallet, which is in beta version out right now. And second is Tokenika, which is a crowdfunding platform. And third one is EOS Doc, decentralized exchange in EOS. Yes, thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Marcin Ziętek. I'm with Tokenika. Tokenika is also a standby block producer based in Warsaw, Poland. And our main focus is supporting of development on EOS. So we mostly make tools for developers to have an easier job making EOS happen. But apart from that, we're also into some heavy research on identity, reputation, and next generation of social networking, which we believe is going to be probably the biggest revolution in the dapp business, especially the blockchain related one. So yeah, this is.
My name is Nathan James. I run Scatter. If you don't know what Scatter is, it's a signature provider for interacting with dapps through web apps and now also on the desktop. We're also working on a system called Riddle, which helps provide scam and malicious intent protection inside of Scatter itself so that users can be notified before they interact with bad apps.
네, 저는 한국 IT 컴퍼니인 네오이즈 계열사에서 만든 EOSRio에서 온 권용길이라고 합니다. 저희는 원래 게임 비즈니스를 한국에서 했고요. 임직원이 한 1,000여 명 정도 되고, EOSR은 크립토 투자도 하고 있고, 그리고 원래는 스타트업 엑셀러레이터를 해왔었어요. 30개 정도 스타트업에 투자를 하고 4개의 엑시스를 했고, 지금은 블록 프로듀서에서 기술 중심으로 예, 많은 기여를 하려고 하고 있습니다. 포탈, 그 보팅 포탈을 만든다든가 그리고 최근에는 다른 BP들과 함께 워크 프로포젤 시스템을 만들고 있습니다.
Hello, my name is Damian from AcroEOS, and we are a standby block producer in Korea, and we have a previous experience in financial technology in Korea, and we have a partnership. We are the partner company of Alipay in Korea. So what we want to do is that we want to achieve the payment system integrated to EOS blockchain using the EOS blockchain. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's try to speak in English. You know, hopefully, you know, it's okay. You know, in Korean we say English becoming day today. 영어 되는 날이에요 오늘. So let's take it slow. Try to speak in English, okay? There are many blockchain software available out there in the market, and why you guys have chosen an EOS software blockchains? Marcin?
Yeah, for us it was a natural choice because we grew up on delegated proof of stake. Basically, we remember the times when Dan Larimer was in his pre-BitShares phase. Believe it or not, there was such a time. And when he was doing angel shares and proto shares, which I don't know if many of you know this. And so we were growing up along with this and saw it mature, and we were quite early aware of the speed that is possible there, of the scalability and all these things that make like big business eventually gravitate towards this. And we thought that this is the only way to make things happen on a blockchain. It needs to be fast and scalable. So our place on EOS right now is very natural. Actually, we feel very at home. Even like on our team, there's like #1 Steam witness as part of Tokenika. So it's just a home ground for us.
Well, it's a no-brainer when we're looking at the users and where they will be. Then EOS is going to be the thing. I really believe that blockchain provides a lot for games. And when we talk about games, you can't have 10-second delays. You can't even have 1-second delays. Even 500 millisecond delays is pushing it. So EOS provides the closest ability that we can to give back to one of the largest communities on the internet.
예, 저희는 I'm sorry for my 저희는 그 게임 컴퍼니라고 말씀드렸는데요. 그 작년에 그 블록체인에 관심을 가지게 되면서 저희가 가지고 있는 게임을 블록체인에 올리려고 노력을 했습니다. 그 이더리움에다 올리려고 했는데 여러분 아시다시피 가스비도 들고 굉장히 느려서 이더리움으로는 도저히 진행할 수 없겠다라는 생각이 들었고, 그런 와중에 EOS를 알게 되었고, EOS라면 가능하겠구나라는 생각이 들어서 EOS에 관심을 가지게 되었습니다.
For me, it's like let's say for like 3 or 4 years, we had this concept of like decentralized platform, but it was just a concept at the moment for a long time. And I believe that EOS has brought the flaws that previous blockchain had that could actually achieve the concept to the real life. Zero transaction fee and high speed transaction. I think those two were the key component needed to be implemented on blockchain in order to compete with the regular system. And I think this is the beginning of the blockchain era.
Okay, so wrapping things up, I think it's just like Damian said, TPS, we just went over the 2,800 TPS just yesterday, I guess. Yes. So that one is TPS, and second is no transaction fees for users. That's the most reason why dapp developers are choosing EOS right now. So, and then plus, there's Dan Larimer, right? Most of non-tech savvy or non-blockchain savvy users just look at the Steemit and BitShares and thinking, oh, EOS might be the one. And I think that's the reason why everyone's just coming to EOS.
Okay, thank you, Orchid. What do you believe the next generation killer dapp in the industry, and why do you think so? Starting from Orchid, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So as long as we don't limit the definition of decentralized application, I think we already have one, because RAM market it has been heated for a few weeks, right? So from that point of view, I think the first killer dapp would be the one which makes money to the users. For example, so if users can earn money from the dapp by speculation or by providing values to the platform, it's going to be the one killer dapp on the EOS blockchain, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one, this, because on one hand we sometimes tend to think that a killer app has to be something so enticing and so awesome that everybody's just going at it all the time and getting excited. But I think the next generation of IT apps are actually going to be very low key and sort of like platform agnostic. Like, for example, social networks that talk to each other and share data in sort of machine readable format that is no longer owned by anyone, where you can monetize your own advertising space and be the ruler of your own world, but in a very fair and also functional manner. And this is, I don't really think that we're going to see like a single, super awesome something. It's going to be like an entirely, sort of like a paradigm shift that we're going to witness. When things open up and all of a sudden you have identity, reputation, these things come together and they start sort of opening up the ecosystem, so the apps are no longer siloed. Because, well, first of all, they don't have to be, but the other thing is when they're not, they're so much more powerful, because all of a sudden they talk to each other. So you have like 25 concurrent Facebooks that are decentralized, but at the same time, you can have friends on each and every one of them and they all see each other. And so I think this is what actually the blockchain will allow to happen in this sort of a platform agnostic way. So it's a complicated answer, but I don't think like looking at single apps is the right thing to do right now here.
And I very much agree. I think that when we look at the internet as it is today, the biggest apps aren't actually Facebook or Twitter or anything like this. They're more things like Google Analytics or Google AdWords, things that are across all the websites. And when we bring that to EOS, we suddenly have the ability to share APIs across multiple different applications. The voting portals are a great example of this, because we have many voting portals, but they're all really hitting the same contract. And once we have APIs put in place to do things like he was talking about, or even just storing our history as humans onto the blockchain, which is something that is obviously going to happen, then many different parties can start interacting with that. And those are really going to be the killer apps.
예, 앞서 말씀하신 내용들에 대해 공감을 하고요. 추가로 이제 다른 한편으로 생각을 해보면 리버스 ICO를 하는 팀들의 주목을 하고 싶습니다. 결국에는 이제 서비스라는 게 완전히 그 백서라든가 이상 세계에서 살 수 없고 현실 세계에서 발현이 실현이 되어야 되는데, 작년에 이제 백서로부터 백서만 쓰면 ICO를 300억, 400억 모을 수 있는 그런 시대에서 요즘은 투자자들도 더 많이 점검 깐깐하게 보고, 예, 돈을 모으기 위해서는 그 자기들이 잘할 수 있다라는 걸 증명할 수 있는 그런 프로젝트여야 한다고 생각합니다. 그래서 그 현업에서 과거에서 혹은 현재 트래픽을 모았다든지 기술력을 갖고 있다든지 하는 그런 그 사업을 가지고 있는 팀들, 자기들의 능력을 입증한 팀들이 우리 블록체인계에서 킬러 뎁을 만들 가능성이 높지 않을까 생각을 합니다.
For my opinion for the killer dapp would be, I would say the system that we already have, in order to top on that system, it has to be 2 or 3 times better than it used to be. So I would say the first killer dapp will be something that can only achieve in blockchain itself. So I really like the idea of digital asset, like a CryptoKitty, like digital collectible. I think those are the things that can only be achieved in blockchain itself. And in central system, we already had this huge market of like gaming items, like trading and stuff like that. And this could be so much better and easier to be trade and like sell and have a market for it in like blockchain. So I think these are the parts that's going to be really groundbreaking, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you, your opinion, what are the critical success factors to become a killer dapp? And what have you guys been preparing to become a killer dapp?
For the AcroEOS, as I mentioned, we were trying to achieve a payment system on the EOS blockchain system. So what we are trying to do is that we have a 5,000 merchant network in Korea, and we're trying to go through those 5,000 merchant networks that saying that if you use EOS as a payment system, it's so much faster, and it's not like other cryptocurrency where it takes transaction fees or delays on transactions. It can happen rapidly, and there will be more international customers coming at you at the merchant service. So what we're trying to do as AcroEOS is that we're trying to connect the blockchain to the real world usage so that people can actually experience what this EOS can do in like off the chain.
예, 제 생각을 보태면 지금 저희 이 자리에 계신 여러분들은 EOS 월렛도 갖고 있고 되게 잘 알고 있어요. 그런데 지금 밖에 있는 많은 인터넷 유저들은 잘 몰라요. 인터넷 유저들의 1%가 크립토 세계에 참여하고 있다고 합니다. 결국에는 사용자들이 이 세계에 들어올 때 넘어야 할 허들을 낮춰주기 위한 유저 익스피리언스가 먼저 해결돼야 될 것 같고요. 그리고 무엇보다 사용자에게 뭐가 됐든 가치를 줘야 된다고 생각합니다. 기존 서비스가 아니라 왜 이 서비스를 블록체인에서 써야 되는지 그런 차별성, 경쟁력이 있어야만 훌륭한 킬러 앱이 될 수 있지 않을까 생각합니다.
So I don't know what makes a killer dapp. I have no idea. I feel it's kind of like speculating on a coin. Instead, I like to make really cool things. I think a lot of people appreciate some of the things that I've been doing, some of the applications that I've been putting aside next to Scatter just to show off what it can do and what we can do with EOS. And I feel that it's kind of like the movie where they talk about Facebook, the social network or whatever it's called, where you really just want to build something cool. And if people really want to use it, yes, user experience is important, but history has shown us, and we talked about this briefly between us, that if something's really cool enough, they will find a way. The computers weren't easy to use 10, 15 years ago, but my mother was a network administrator. She sat there writing batch files to install Doom, and this happens. If people really want to do something, they'll find a way. User experience just makes it a lot easier to bring them into that.
What are you working on the dapp right now? The one that hurt me?
Hurt me plenty, it's funny because that's actually from Doom. That's one of the difficulty levels. I like games. And so it's, you kill somebody, you get tokens, they kill you, you lose tokens, and at the end of the match, you keep whatever you have. But you own those tokens. They're not in the game. You can immediately go to a DEX and trade them, or you could trade them for other tokens in other in-game currencies, or you could have a marketplace where you trade them for items in other games. Suddenly we have all of this accessibility without having to build those features into the games.
definitely the game has a clear business model, business cases, and
I'm very bad at business models. So everybody else is going to be making quite nice coin, but I'll just be making software, and I'm okay with that.
You just kill everyone and get rich. That's basically.
I will be playing, and I'm really good. So there's that.
It's like crypto battle royale.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so we were kind of of a stance, kind of go big or go home with the killer dapp, and so we've been researching this identity concept, and we're trying to link it with the intention layer that we think is missing on the internet, and it's a pretty simple thing actually, but it mysteriously isn't there. That everything we do and all the apps that actually are out there, they carry some sort of an intention which can be abstracted from the app. So if I want to do something, if I want to get something done, it's actually an intention that's attached to an app originally. But if we detach it from the app and attach it to the reputation and identity, that becomes like a sort of this ghost that you can just broadcast and out into the world, and it will match an intention of a person that has good enough a reputation and also has the identity, so we can technically prove that he is what he's saying he is. And we can transact with that person without an app. So that actually allows you to build any startup you can think of on a blockchain such as EOS using an abstract layer of intention. And I really wanted to talk to Block.One about it because I know you guys are also working on a social network, and I think we could probably work together because we spent 5 years researching this, and we have a lot of proper write-ups about it. And this is something that's been hunting us for decades almost. Like in IT terms, this 5 years is decades. So that's that.
Okay, I'd have to disagree with Nathan, actually, because I think what drives people to use an app is greed, actually. And people love, so people love cool stuff and cool things, and that could get their curiosity, but the human nature doesn't change, right? So what I think of Chintai project, which is a releasing platform that could bring token holders their wealth. If that goes well, then I think that's pretty much going to be a killer dapp. And after that, social networking services like Ono, they're preparing for their service. It's pretty similar to the concept that we have on the internet. And they would have similar user experience to what we have on Facebook or Twitter. So it's opposing to your idea also. So user would have feel no difference using their dapp, but plus they're making money. They can make money from token economy from the dapps, right? So in that point of sense, it's user experience which is similar to the ones that we already have and we already think that's cool, plus making money. That's what I said.
I don't disagree.
Orchid, EOS has made a huge announcement back in Seoul meetup, multiple dapp projects. Can you please share with us what's going on with the project?
So we have now we have 3 dapp incubating projects. One is Nova Wallet, which would have transferring a lot of various tokens, and also with a biometric sensor. It's going to come out in a iOS version first, and Chrome extension and Android next. Second one is EOS Stock, which is going to be decentralized exchange for token holders. So they would have less transaction fee, not transaction fee, the fee that they should pay for the exchange. The third one is Tokenika, which is going to be crowdfunding platform. I think it's going to be similar to the worker proposal system because they would also get donations and funding from whatever they're proposing. So those are the three biggest platform projects that we think it's going to work in EOS. And yeah, that's the three projects that we're...
Thank you for sharing. Looks like the panel's got a minute and a half. This is what this is the most difficult problems always whenever I'm on the panel, and as a moderator, time management is always critical, right? So maybe the last but not least, to help you better build your successful killer dapp in the futures in the industry, what support do you need from Block.One? Maybe start from Damian?
Well, that's a little bit tricky question because it's specifically due to the Block.One. Okay. I think Block.One should really commit themselves, making the dapp first, and if they see more dapps that are useful, maybe they could, do the things that they're doing it right now, like funding them and accelerating them. I think you guys are still doing the good work right now.
Anyone?
지금 상황에서도 뭐 뎁 개발하는 건 별 문제가 없는 것 같고요. 블록원의 댄 라리머가 이런 미덥에 나와서 같이 발표도 하고 붐업을 하면 더 좋지 않을까 생각합니다.
Documentation. There needs to be more documentation. There needs to be video tutorials. We need to bring this not only to developers who know exactly what they're doing, but to new developers who possibly don't. And that's about as much as we can hope for.
Yeah, well, I think we'd love to speak to Dan Larimer about social networking. That would be awesome.
I'd say educating developers, which Block.One is already doing right now. Reach out to different communities, maybe.
I'll take the note of it and we'll share internally, okay? Thank you guys. Time is up. 10 minutes break? Yeah, 10 minutes break. Thank you.
Thank you.